Goal of the 9-yard line. Hamilton keeps it. Touchdown.
Y'all know what time it is. We got to thank God every minute of every day. We're very happy to be in the building once again. It's your boy One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. If I could just get my face to pull up so y'all can see me and believe me. It's your boy One Live Stu Ryan Stewart in the building, hanging out with In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. Joe Ham will be here in a second before I give him an introduction, but I wanted to do some housekeeping first. First of all, happy Wednesday to you all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for passing the word. If you haven't subscribed to In the Huddle with Joe Ham as of yet, please make the time to do so now. Subscribe, like, pass the word. Please tell folks about the show. Please make sure that y'all are always here when we're here. When you subscribe, like hopefully you have all done, you will be notified when we will be on. And we're very, very happy to be able to do that for y'all. Let's get this party started, man. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know who it is. Let me introduce the man who needs zero introduction if you know anything about college football greatness. He's a Georgia legend, a South Carolina legend, a Heisman finalist, and a college football Hall of Famer, and one of the most electrifying quarterbacks to ever touch the football field. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Joe isn't just one of the best to ever put on a Georgia Tech uniform. He's one of the best to ever do it, period. A record setter, a competitor, a leader, and a true student of the game. His football IQ is elite. His resume speaks for itself, and his impact on Atlanta sports runs so deep. From the flats to the pros to coaching, mentoring, developing young men, and now breaking the game down with insight, passion, and straight up authenticity. Joe continues to elevate every room he walks into. He's a friend, he's a brother, and in this media grind, he's one of the sharpest minds in football. Y'all please give a big round of applause to none other than my man, Joe Ham is in the building. What up, Ham?
Man, everything is up, brother. Everything is up, I tell you. Hey, hand me a jersey, hand me a helmet, hand me shoulder pads, hand me a basketball, hand me a baseball, hand me whatever, my brother. I am fired up. This is sports heaven when I'm living in right now. Sports heaven. It's just that time of year. Right around Thanksgiving, right around the holidays is where things pick up, Mr. Stewart. It's where everything picks up. A little bit of basketball sprinkled in, which you're talking about NFL, college, and I'm enjoying that. Fresh new faces in college, fresh new faces in the NBA, changing teams. That's exciting. But my goodness, man, when you talk about what I love, really with a passion, football. Yeah. We're on the back nine of football. It's no more feeling out. It's no more feeling out. One thing about it, you are who you are right now in football. Yeah. In college football, is no we woulda, shoulda, coulda. Your record is your record. Your injuries are your injuries. In the NFL, the same thing. There are no excuses. I'm going to judge you by what I've seen for more than half of the football season. I'm fired up, brother.
He's fired up. He's fired up. Everybody can tell how fired up he is. It's your boy One Live Stu Ryan Stewart, joined by Joe Hamilton himself. And a quick reminder that every Monday and Thursday right here on this same platform, Stewart Media and Entertainment, you can find Doug and I every single Monday and Thursday at 7 o'clock. We do a show called the Two Live Stews Experience. Doug and I break down sports. We talk football. We do lifestyle. We do music. We talk about whatever the trending topics are. As a matter of fact, speaking of trending topics, we do a Last 48 where over the last 48 hours, we talk about the most talked about stories on social media. But tonight, it is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. Y'all just heard his intro. He is fired up and ready to go. We will start things off tonight by first saying, we've missed you guys. It's been a few weeks, but we're back. Prayerfully, we won't be missing any more time, and we'll be jumping in to college football, starting with our beloved Yellow Jackets. first and foremost. The Yellow Jackets, sir, they've literally got control of their own destiny. I guess there's no other place to start by talking about the Yellow Jackets than the defense or the lack thereof. They blew a massive opportunity versus NC State over a week ago. They found a way to rebound and beat Boston College, Joe. But let's talk about that defense and what took place versus NC State. Please share your thoughts about the defense or the lack thereof of defense for our beloved Yellow Jackets, Joe.
Well, it's a problem, Stu. It's a problem, and it's a problem that's been going on for the last 4 or 5 weeks. And when you look at it, the Yellow Jackets are giving up 160 yards on the ground. 160 yards on the ground a game. When you're talking to the likes of NC State, you're talking to the likes of BC running up and down the field, it just can't happen. And when I say it just can't happen, I know better than it's going to be changed overnight. I know better than you can get a bye week and you can change it by substituting the here and there. You can't implement a new scheme. It's too late to do that. So now it's all about grit. Now it's all about grit and want to. Getting off of blocks, rushing the passer, have 4 or 5 hats to the football, gang tackling. That's what it's going to take. We're going to have to force more turnovers because I'm afraid that even even Pitt come in there in Bobby Dodd Stadium on Saturday night under the lights, which I'll give you a little nugget. Pittsburgh is the worst rushing team in the conference. They're only running the ball at a clip of 60 yards per game. So now our weakness, they can't take advantage of it, or they have not been able to take advantage of it throughout the season with their running attack. So I'm anxious to see if Pitt can run the ball. Obviously, they're going to try to run the ball, but it's all about Haynes King. It's all about Haynes King and that offense, putting up points, playing keep away, making sure that you can match. And yeah, dare I say match, because Pittsburgh is known for their physicality. Can the Yellow Jackets continue to be physical like they are or like they were the entire season, the previous games? Can they be as physical knowing this is a winner-take-all situation? This is almost a championship type atmosphere, certainly for the Jackets. Now, Pitt has to win one more game against Miami next week to get in the ACC championship game, but the Yellow Jackets win Saturday night, they're in. So I don't mind if they treat this like a championship game, because that's what it is. You don't get here if you're the Yellow Jackets, and you and I, alumnus of the Yellow Jackets, and we know what's at stake here. You don't get to this point with a senior-laden team, with a team that's been in the same system for 3 to 4 years and knocking at the door like that, and don't bust the door down. You must absolutely take advantage of this opportunity.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I am One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. We're very happy to be here talking about the beloved Yellow Jackets right now. Let's get away from the X's and the O's briefly while mentioning the Yellow Jackets. You talked about one of the biggest games that will be taking place at Bobby Dodd Stadium in the recent decade or so.
Absolutely.
This game is one of the most important games that you and I will be able to view this weekend. But while doing so, you mentioned Haynes King and how awesome he's been playing. I got to ask you a question that's a little pointed. And this isn't something that we discussed. I did want to surprise you with this so we could have a true organic feel for people that's watching the show. You mentioned Haynes King and how incredible of a year that he's having. He's doing it on the ground. He's doing it in the air. Haynes King has literally damn near broken just about every record at Georgia Tech when it comes to the quarterback position. When I say that, it's directed straight at you, and I'm hoping that you will share a true answer to this question. How do you feel about the electricity that is behind Haynes King and all of the records that he's breaking right now? Because the majority of the records that he's breaking are yours.
Yeah.
Your name is the name that is being dethroned, have you, when it comes to passing records or quarterback records on the flats for Georgia Tech. Joe, as the former player that held all the records that are now being broken by Haynes King, how does that make you feel, sir?
To my knowledge, Ryan Stewart, it's only been one. I think it's the total touchdown, right? Is it more than one? If it's more than one, I'm a little behind. But I tell you, honest, genuine, and being transparent with you, because that's what we do. I watch it closely. I watch it closely, and I am rooting for Haynes King wholeheartedly to break those records, to blow past them, to have a season that you've never seen before and capitalize on it. But again, Stu, I want one or two to stand. I'm not Eric Dickerson. I'm not Dickerson. I'm not rooting against Haynes King to break some of the records, because he's playing so outstanding in the style of play that's going on today, where you got the spread, you're throwing it, you're running it, and in the style he's doing it with, he's going to break records. And records are made to be broken. And my daughter, it brought that up when I brought it to their attention. I said, "Oh man, Haynes King is about to get the total touchdown record, total touchdown responsible away from me. My goodness." And they said, "Oh man." Then I said, "He might be close to all-time total." And then Skylar said, no, he's not going to get that. He's not going to get to the 10,000 yard mark. He's nowhere close to that. So I said, well, is he going to get to 29 touchdowns in a season? I don't think he's going to get to that passing. Is he going to get the total touchdown responsible for a season? Well, he's already got that, Dad. So I want to keep a few of them, Stu, just to be in the record books, no doubt. But I'm really, really rooting for Haynes King, and it feels good. Because why does it feel good? Inside in my heart, when it does come up, when it shows, when the Yellow Jackets are playing on TV, my name is up there. When you're talking about it, looking at the record books, my name is up there. So as long as I stay in the record book, not to say I want individual accolades, because I'm a quarterback that depends on a lot. But man, it feels good. It feels good to still hold on to some records while a young up and comer like Haynes King break your records and doing it the right way. He's tech tough. He's what we embody as a tech student athlete and a tough, hard-nosed football player. So I'm rooting for him. But Stu, leave me one or two records, man. I don't want all of them to be taken. No doubt, man.
We'll stay here for a quick second while talking about the Yellow Jackets a little bit off the field. A buddy of mine sent me a picture of a private jet that pulled up at the little airport, not the main airport in Atlanta. I believe it's the Maynard Jackson Airport, but the little single engine airport off of Buford Highway. Yeah. And it looked like the plane belonged to the Florida Gators. My question to you is about the Georgia Tech current head coach and Brent Key, an offensive lineman that played and protected you when you were in the pocket, creating the records that are still standing right now that are on the fringe of being broken by Haynes King. Simple question. Do you see Brent Key as still being the Yellow Jackets quarterback next season when football reunites to start 2026?
1,000% yes. 1,000% yes. And with probably $3 more million in his wallet, yes, there's no doubt that the new AD, he's going to have to up the ante, and not for the sake that Brent Key's going to say or use it for leverage that I'm getting interest from other schools. It's not about that. It's about doing the right thing. It's about letting Brent Key know that what you're doing is appreciated. You making under $5 million in the ACC in a program that you've turned around in 3 years deserves more than below market rate. That's below market rate with the job he's done. And I just don't see, Stu, this is me, and maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I have some inside information with Brent Key being my teammate for 3 years. I don't see him at Florida. I don't see him at LSU as being a fit. I don't see his aura. I don't see his demeanor, his coaching style, his people's skill fitting a place like Florida, fitting in the SEC where there are distractions outside of just coaching ball. There's distractions outside of what we do in that football field. He wants to ignore all that. He wants to go in his room and watch film. He wants to go in that practice field and develop players and the alumni and all the things that come along with it, the expectations that's through the roof and sometimes insurmountable. I don't think that's him. I just do not think that's him. Maybe I'm wrong. And I also don't think that's him to use these job openings as leverage to get more money. But then again, you still gonna have to pay him more money because he's deserving and he's worthy of getting more money. And if he sticks around, like I think he's gonna stick around, then soon and very soon, Mr. Stewart, can the GT on the side of the helmet, the gold helmet, get a little national respect? Because what the college football committee did yesterday really upset me. It upset me, and I know you're going to say the ACC and who are they playing? What are their big wins? Okay, they're 9-1. They're 9-1, and yeah, they had to slip up and get NC State. But why so many 2-loss teams are above or ahead when you're talking about Utah, BYU? I can understand, and I'll give you Alabama and those guys in the SEC. Alabama has played or has beaten 4 top 25 college football playoff teams. So I understand that. But to be 16 and only 1 loss, where's the respect? And you can miss me with the ACC respect. Where's the GT respect is what I'm looking for. And I know it's got to be earned. It's got to be earned.
Yep. In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm your boy One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. Quick reminder to make sure you catch the 2 Live Stews tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7 o'clock. Joe, let's talk about the top 12 teams right now. You brought it up. We'll mention it. This is a little bit off the cuff. We wasn't planning on doing this today. I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I, too, was hoping that we would have been showing a little bit more respect with just that 1 loss. But after looking over the schedule and looking over our wins compared to the others in the ACC, after watching Miami and what they've done and the losses that they have taken, how off was the committee to leave us out, in your humble opinion? Take your GT shirt off, take your alliance or allegiance to the program away, and give me your thoughts on where they put the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets when it comes to the first 12 teams selected for this year's BCS championship.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my GT Homer shirt off because you asked me to do it, but I don't want to. And here's the reason why I don't want to. The committee doesn't take their biasness out of it. They don't do it. So why should I do it? And I'm taken aback. Why is Miami ranked ahead of the Yellow Jackets? Now, I know they're not in the top 12. They're 13. Why? They've lost 2 bad losses, and obviously they beat Notre Dame. I understand that, but they have some bad losses, and they have lost 2 games already. Notre Dame only good win was USC, and USC is ranked 15. What am I missing here? And they lost the first 2 games of the season. Now, that's solid. That's, to me, no doubt about it, it's the Notre Dame brand. Okay, so I don't have a problem when you look at it, Stu, as far as SEC having 5 out of the 10 or out of the 12 in, because that's a tough SEC conference. Those guys play hard-nosed ball. Any given Saturday, in the SEC is a battle. It's a dogfight. I totally respect that. But to have Utah, why? Vanderbilt ahead of us, why? Why? Because, again, I know I'm going off of just the win-loss record, and it's more than that. I understand it's about the eye test. But the eye test and what? The eye test saying how they play. You know what they're doing with Notre Dame? They are saying Notre Dame has a good loss. That's why they put Notre Dame at number 10, because of the loss to Texas A&M, who's defeated, and that was very early in the season. How could you move up, and how could you be credited with a good loss?
Okay. I'm with you. I agree. I would love to be shown a little more respect. However, NC State beats us. Our defense can't stop their offense. And we follow up with the NC State loss, and we watch Miami destroy NC State. I watched some of that game. It wasn't a competitive competition. And on the heels of Miami destroying NC State, who beat us, we have a dogfight with Billy O'Brien in Boston College. So just make that situation make sense to me to give us a little more understanding on why we, as Yellow Jacket fans, think we deserve to be higher in one of the final 12 teams in the initial 12 when we saw what NC State did to us and we saw what Miami did to them and we saw how BC took us down to the absolute wire to get a W. Please share your thoughts on that and we'll move on.
Yeah, let me clarify myself, Stu. I don't have a problem with the Georgia Tech not being in the initial or this week's top 12. I don't think you can reach that with the one loss in the strength of schedule in the ACC and the terrible loss to NC State and also struggling against BC. But 16 behind Miami is what's getting me. That's what's getting me. They lost to Louisville and they lost to SMU. But again, what are you basing it all off of? Our strength of schedule or the eye test? The eye test says that we have been dominating everybody up until, and even before we lost to NC State, we we were top 10, but they barely got us in the top 10 and wanted us, and we lost to them, and they dropped us like we didn't belong in there in the first place. So it's all about, going forward. And I think I'm looking ahead to see if, we would get the benefit of the doubt if we were to beat Pitt, which I think is going to happen, lose to Georgia, which is going to be a toss-up. It's going to be a good game. What's going to happen is we made the ACC championship game. Do we get in for just being there? Are we going to get that respect? Or do we have to win it to be one of those 12 teams? That's something that I'm going to be looking out for. But Saturday night, I'm going to tell you about Saturday night. That senior class, Stu, you talk about having your cake and eat it too. That's a senior class, that big of a game to go to the ACC championship on senior night, your last game in Bobby Dodd Stadium, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Woo-wee! You talk about an atmosphere down there in Midtown on Saturday night. Boy, I can't wait to watch it.
Two quick things before we pay a little bit of bills and get into the world of the National Football League. We can't overlook the Pittsburgh team that's coming to Bobby Dodd. But after we deal with the Pittsburgh team, we've got a Georgia team that is playing really good ball that's endured a loss or so this season. And I almost hate to ask you this because the Pitt game is so huge, but after an 8 overtime game last season versus the Georgia Bulldogs, what kind of fight do you think we'll have in the tank when we do face those Georgia Bulldogs, saying that we get a win versus the Pitt Panthers?
Unbelievable fight, like a caged dog, because, injured or not, wounded or not, it would be the 12th game of the season. But, man, that's clean, old-fashioned hate. You play that with adrenaline. Yeah. So make no bones about it, whether you win or lose against Pitt, the Yellow Jackets will be fired up to play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium against the Bulldogs because they tasted blood last year. Mm-hmm. They tasted blood in a wounded animal, and not to say Georgia's not going to have their antennas up because of what happened last year. Mm-hmm. But those seniors, those guys that's been up there in Athens last year, they tasted it so close, and I think they're going to really try to finish the deal this year.
One last college football question before we take a break and then come back and talk about some NFL, which there's too many things to talk about in the world of the National Football League. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, the word has been out that they want to know if he's going to stay. People are trying to figure out if he's interested in the LSU job, if he's interested in the Florida job. Joe, what's your take on Lane Kiffin in Mississippi? Does he stay in Mississippi or does he leave Mississippi to take one of these blue blood programs that happen to be open right now?
First of all, I want to say, Stu, that I think it's unfair. It's human and it's not bad. It's not terrible, but I think it's unfair what's going on with the players. And it's unfair to a program to have to try to get into college football playoff with this type of distraction. I know it's inherited. I know it's not something that they brought on themselves, but to be able to have those guys find focus on the job at hand, studying film and not paying attention to the rumors of their coach is going to be there. Is he going to leave us in the middle of the night? Is he going to be yanked away from us before the college football playoff starts? All that is somewhat what we call distractions. All distractions are not self-warranted or self-inflicted. This distraction, every time you're in the room, every time you have an interview or a mic in front of you, you asked about your coach leaving or staying. That's a distraction. That takes away a little bit. I think he stays, Stu, because I think that he feels comfortable. And to start brand new with the expectation that he's going to those other schools, I don't know if he's going to take on that again. Now, he's a competitor, but starting it over again, I'm not sure he wants to do that.
Brian Daboll has been fired in New York. He's no longer the Giants head coach. Of course, we know that Lane Kiffin has a quarterback that is in New York by the name of Jackson Dart. People think that Brian Daboll is probably the reason why Jackson Dart has missed some time because of him running the ball and running the player. And you think Lane Kiffin's got any interest in going back to the NFL, a place where he's been before, to be the head coach of the New York Giants?
Yes.
This thing is bigger than him just leaving Mississippi to go to another college program.
Yeah.
But what's the odds of you, in your mind, of Lane Kiffin leaving to go to the National Football League and coach his former quarterback in Jackson Dart?
If Mr. Mara, the owner of the New York Giants, reaches out to Lane Kiffin, he's gone, Stu. He's absolutely out of there. The Big Apple, his swag, his mantra, his moxie, he's gone. He's gone. This is a little bit different from college. He's gone. And add on to it about what college is becoming. The headache, the transfer portal, the guys wanting more money, the guys, being entitled. That headache, you don't have to deal with it. All you have to do in New York is coach. And oh, by the way, you said it, he has a personal relationship with Jackson Dart. That would entice him as well. I can get the coach, go over there in New York Giants with a guy that knows my system, with a guy that knows me, how I want things done. The communication is going to hit the ground running. I think that'll be a perfect opportunity with the expectations that the New York Giants now, that cupboard is not bare. That cupboard is not bare. If you think Malik Neighbors is going to come back healthy, if you think Scatterboo is going to come back healthy, with those defensive end and that defense up front with Burns and Abdul Carter and those your boy Bell, God, I forgot his name, number 97. He's right on the tip of my tongue. Dexter Lawrence. Those guys, with those guys up front, man, that's a team that's right around the corner. If you get the right coach to get in there and to coach the Giants. So again, I don't think he leaves to get another coaching job in the college, but he will, in my opinion, leave to go to the New York Giants. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Yeah, who wouldn't? I love the comments on the college football, Joe. Love the comments on Lane Kiffin. For some reason, I'm thinking that he is going to bolt and leave Ole Miss. I think if he had any intentions on staying, he would have done it already because they're prepared. They've told him they're prepared to make him one of the highest paid coaches. They've told him that they will match any other offer that could come from one of those outside programs. Now, the New York Giants thing is different. Does he want to get back into the world of the NFL? Maybe Jackson Dart is the reason why he does that. But when we get back after we pay some bills, Ham, in the world of the National Football League, a lot of teams are playing some good ball.
Woo-wee!
One of those teams would not happen to be the Chiefs. We'll talk about them as well. And one of those quarterbacks that's playing good ball for those teams that's playing good ball does not happen to be Justin Fields. We'll talk about him on the other side too, man. It is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm One Live student Ryan Stewart. Y'all please keep it locked, man. It's In the Huddle with Joe Ham, and we'll be back here in a quick, short break. Keep it locked. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ. The all-natural weight chews cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results. It's In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham and Ryan Stewart. One Live Stew. Quick reminder, don't forget about Stewart Media and Entertainment's Two Live Stews experience tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock sharp. If you can't catch it live, it's okay. You can log on whenever time allows you to the YouTube platform. Go to Stewart Media and Entertainment and pull up the Two Live Stews experience. Not only will you get tomorrow's show if you can't catch it live, but you can see every show we've ever done on the platform. Y'all make sure to check it out tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., the Two Live Stews experience. Welcome back to In the Huddle. Got your boy Joe Ham right here with us. 10 teams right now, Joe, in the world of the National Football League that have 7 or more wins. We're talking about through week 11, and I'm not quite sure how often this has happened. On any given Sunday, this thing is real, Joe. Talk about the success so many teams are having, and give me your thoughts on why you think these teams are having so much success to date right now.
Quarterback play. I love it. I love what's going on as far as coaching and quarterback play. And when I talk about quarterback play, I'm talking about elite quarterback play. Elite. When you look at Matthew Stafford, aging very, very well. I mean, he looks like, he has his arm fired up like he's 25 years of age. Daniel Jones and his resurgence. Old Drake May that a lot of people put dead to rights last year in his first year under Coach Jared Mayo that didn't quite know what he was doing with the team. That was his first hurrah, first go around, and Drake May suffered. Now when you got another with a better head coach in Mike Vrabel and an offensive coordinator like Josh McDaniel, you see what they can do with their quarterback. You see the changes with the quarterback. When you look at the Denver and Bo Nix, Sean Payton, yeah, he's a little erratic, but you can trust him late in games to make a play. The Bears, what about Ben Johnson? What he's doing to Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams, man, don't you understand that the Chicago Bears are on top of the NFC North? On top of the NFC North.
What about Detroit? Ahead of Green Bay. It's amazing to see what has happened in Chicago 1 year after finding what appears to be a damn good coordinator that makes a damn good head coach in Ben Johnson.
Yeah, and then when you look at it, Stu, I thought about this this evening that do you want a dominant team that we know that team is going to get to the Super Bowl? That team is going to get to the NFC Championship game. That team is going to get guaranteed to the AFC Championship game. You can't tell me any guarantees in the AFC.
No.
If somebody could tell me by watching film and watching tape and watching these games on Sunday that they can guarantee who's going to be in the AFC Championship game to go through the Super Bowl, no. Now you have to look at defense, because I think defense and pressuring the quarterback is at a premium now. Sam Darnold is not that bad that he showed us Sunday. He is not that bad. Now, you can say whatever you want to say about his last 2 games last year, whether that's going to be in your mind for the rest of his career. I grant you that. I can't argue with that. I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to say is Saturday, he got heated up. Okay, now when you look at Jared Goff, what did Jared Goff? Jared Goff is having a solid season. All right, Coach Campbell took over the play calling, and when he took over the play calling that first week, they looked unstoppable.
540 yards of offense. Running game was working. Passing game was working. Down the field, intermediary routes, short. I mean, everything was working. Not so much last week, but prior to that, everything was working. And it looked like Dan Campbell was going to be an incredible offensive coordinator 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And what happened is Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, ate his lunch.
Yeah.
He ate his lunch. And what you want to do with Jared Goff, you want to move him off his spot. You want to make sure with that 4-down lineman with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and that big-time pickup that the Philadelphia Eagles picked up for the Miami Dolphins, Phillips. And now you got a team that no longer are you seeing the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, a lot of people wonder, and a lot of people talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, Stu, what's wrong with the offense? A.J. Brown is crying. A.J. Brown is playing video games or playing Madden and saying that don't draft me, take me off your fantasy team, somewhat distractions. Can Jalen Hurts really pass the ball down the field? Can he beat you with his arm? What's going on with Saquon Barkley? He's averaging almost half of what the yardage that he averaged last year. I see a transition, Stu. I see a transition to that this is a defensive-led team. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. That is okay. So when you look at it, yeah, maybe they do whatever it takes to win, but one thing has been constant this season is that defense. Yeah. So to me, there's nothing wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles. They are playing in a weak division, and they're going to make it out of the division. But they've been beating some of the top teams in the National Football League. And whether it's close, whether it's a blowout, a win is a win, in my opinion.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, you've said 4 or 5 things in the last 2 or 3 minutes that is going to make me change things briefly. Let's start by talking about the Eagles and who they are or what they are. Jalen Hurts in his last 25 starts, including the playoffs, is 22-3. He's got a total touchdown count of 58 and an interception count of 3. He's got a passer rating of 110. That's just in the last 25 starts, where they're 22-3. A Super Bowl loss where he would have been the MVP, and a Super Bowl win. Joe, what in the hell do people want Jalen Hurts to do? Why in the hell are people questioning the authenticity or the playing capabilities of one Mr. Jalen Hurts? Let's start there, Joe. Your thoughts on Jalen?
Okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question before I give you my thoughts. Do you think people would rather see – Do you think people would rather see Deion Sanders play or Barry Sanders?
Barry.
I would have said Deion Sanders, okay, but and the reason why I would have said Deion Sanders is because
I'm glad you said that, because I would love to see prime time. However, I chose Barry because the odds are you're going to see Barry touch the ball more than Deion. So, yeah, I'm a defensive player. Of course, I want to see Prime lock somebody down. But when it comes to those two, Deion and Barry, we're going to get to see – we want to see the guy with the ball more so than anything else.
Well, I think that was a bad comparison on my part, but I get you and I agree with you. Where I was getting at, Stu, is because the reason why they don't want to see or they're hating on Jalen Hurts because he's not flashy. He's not flashy. He's boring. You know, Barry's not boring, but Barry is just a guy that's going to hand the ball to the ref. You're not going to get any flamboyancy. You're not going to get any swag. You're not going to get any of those things that the young folks want to see. All right, so now they're looking at, hey, yeah, the tush push. When he scrambles, he gets out of bounds. It's only 6-7 yards. He continues to move the chains. He makes the right play, but it's not a lot of excitement to go around his playing style. I think they get bored with his playing style. They get bored with his demeanor. And that's all I can say, and that's all I can look to, because to me, what do you do? My dad always said this to me growing up when I was playing the quarterback position and in battling Brandon Shaw for the starting job at Georgia Tech, battling Stephen Washington as an 8th grader for the quarterback position at Macedonia High School. My dad always said, son, don't get so caught up in throwing a touchdown or running a touchdown. Get caught up in leading your team down to score. Because if you hand that ball off 10 times and y'all go down there and score, you get credit. Yes, you're going to get credit for a scoring drive. Yes. So, but a guy that's going to throw 5 touchdowns and his team is not winning or getting in the end zone and there's a lot of substance but no victory, you don't want that. So I don't know why or when we transferred to flash over winning.
It hurts my heart.
It does. It certainly hurts my heart because
it hurts my heart.
And the notion and what about smarts? We don't talk about Jalen Hurts being as smart as he is. This guy has been in the league, I think, 6 years, and how many different coordinators? I mean, he's going through them each and every year. He just lost his coordinator this year,
right?
And not again. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. Yeah, he makes the right decisions, and he's a tremendous leader. So, Jalen Hurts. And what happens, Stu, is that we would not pick Jalen Hurts if these quarterbacks or 32 quarterbacks were at the park and we're playing the eye test and we're just looking at them and we just say, I want him. I want him. Oh, he looks good. Look at him, 6'5", 230. He looks apart. I want him on my team. He's not going to pass that test in the park. But once you get him in your film room, once you get him on your practice field and see all he's going to do, what it takes to win, that's a guy that's going to lead your team to victory.
I'll be honest. The reason why it bothers me and troubles me so much, it hurts my heart so much is because he's a frat brother, okay? He is a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, but he's literally been nothing but a freaking winner since high school. High school, college. He got overlooked in college, gets the starting job, does outstanding, gets benched, leaves, takes the next team to, I mean, he's just overcome so much, and it bothers me to hear a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm not going to say his name, but a buddy of mine, Kamatni Rollins, who came to see your son play last weekend. I'll talk about that a little bit later before we get done. He's a diehard Eagle fan that was showing love and giving props to A.J. Brown, but belittling and talking trash to Jalen Hurts.
How could you do that?
It bothered me. It bothered me because if there was no Jalen Hurts, there'd be no current Eagles dynasty in my mind. So it troubles me. We'll leave that there and move on to something else that you mentioned. You mentioned Dan Campbell taking the responsibilities prior to the Philadelphia game last week. Had 540-something plus yards, ground game work, passing game work. But in last week's Philadelphia game, while he's calling and holding the play sheet, calling the game, he goes for 5 fourth downs. Doesn't get 4 of them. One of them is a fake punt, and he doesn't get that. My count told me that there were 9 points in those 4th downs that we could have easily had with makeable field goals that he chose not to take, and he went for the 4th down. We know he's a riverboat gambler. We know he doesn't mind going for it, as he showed the world that last week and in the past since he's been a head coach. Give me your thoughts on that, Joe, when you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, who's been in the last couple of Super Bowls and won the last Super Bowl, and they're a team that can establish the run. They're a team that can establish the pass. They're a team that can rush your passer. They had Jared Goff a little off-center because of the pressure that they kept of supplying on him or providing to him. Give me your thoughts on Dan Campbell saying, the hell with it, we're going to go for these 4th downs on our side of the field, all over the damn place. Give me your thoughts on Dan Campbell going for those 4th downs all the time, Joe.
He's uncomfortable, Stu. He's uncomfortable. What do I mean by that? Dan Campbell, that was Dan Campbell's second game calling an NFL game. Second. So when you were making those decisions last year, you're a riverboat gambler, and you don't mind going for it on the 4th down. If that's who you are, that's who you are. I understand that. But it's a difference, Ryan Stewart. It's a difference now to where you a CEO and you get the feel of a game, get the momentum of the game because you're watching the totality of how your defense is playing, how your special teams is playing, situational football. It's a little bit different than you have to go that your whole entire career, 3-4 years in, you've been on the sideline making decisions from a thought process of an overall team and how my team is playing. I thought this past Sunday he got caught up into being an offensive coordinator and trying to win individually. His pride got in the way in him saying, looking at his sheet, this should work. This is going to work. I'm going to trick him. I'm going to outsmart him. I'm going to do some things that is not on the. I'm going to go to some unscripted looks and try to get those guys off guard. So I thought that Dan Campbell, and I don't know, I was thinking about it. Can he go back and give it back to Coach Morton, the prior OC that was calling plays before he took over? Because I think Dan Campbell's better suited for that because he gets the whole pulse of the team. It's very, very difficult, Stu, in the middle of a season to change your role that you've never done before. And I forgot, remind me who they played before the Eagles? Who did they have 400?
You keep on talking, and I'll tell you. Keep on talking.
So I think, I don't want to call any NFL team Mickey Mouse, but he played a Mickey Mouse team. He played a team that you can try new things. He played a team that you can give Jameson Williams the ball a lot more. He played a team that you can give Jahmyr Gibbs an angle route and have him in space and spread the ball around. But when you go up against a team that's going to try to pick you off your spot, that's going to take away your first option and going to take away what you love to do, that's what he's going to run into.
They pounded the Washington Commanders 44-22, Joe. That was the game that was prior to them losing the Philadelphia Eagles game.
Yeah, a team with Marshawn Lattimore or old Bobby Wagner. They don't play defense at all. No Jaden Daniels on that team. So it's a little bit different. Stu, I still think Dan Campbell is one of the top coaches in the NFL. I just don't think he's suited for doing both. That's exactly what I think.
Very valid point, and we'll stay in Dan Campbell here for a quick second. As a quarterback, as a former player that understands the importance of momentum, you and I talk about this all the time. The importance of momentum being able to carry a team, the importance of momentum being able to motivate players. Joe, talk to the listeners that's watching the show and listening to the show right now about the importance of flipping the field. And what I mean right now is, Dan Campbell went for it 5 times on 4th down. One of them was a 4th and 6. One of them was a 4th and 5. The other 3 were 4th downs where he had field goal opportunities. Talk about the importance of not going for those 4th downs and flipping that field by putting your punting unit out there. Talk about the importance of that, Joe. Or do you not see flipping the field as important?
Oh, I see it as very, very important. And here's the deal. What about the pulse of the team? I have to go back to that because the Detroit defense, they were playing outstanding. The Detroit defense was playing very, very well. And to give the Eagles short field and momentum and confidence. But that's a high-powered offense to run the Lions jog out there every series. And to give those guys that kind of confidence that we can stop those guys on 4th down, and it also sends a message to those guys that he's a little bit desperate now. He's a little bit desperate. He's way out of character. 4th and 6, 4th and 5, that's no gimme, man. You have to put that ball. And I tell you this. Let me tell you what's deflating to an offense and a quarterback. And I know this for a fact. To drive that ball, and it's hard to drive from your own 20 down there in chip shot field goal range or even field goal range, getting 1st downs, it's very, very hard, especially when you're giving credit to a good defense, when they're scheming you up, when they know your tendencies because you in week 11 and there's no tricks. They know who you are. And you get down there and they come away with no points. And then you're thinking to yourself on the sideline, we got to go back and try to go back 70 yards again. Against that defense. Right. And then you don't get points again. And they keep stopping you. That's psychic. And they're grown men. I know they're grown men, but they're football players. And that gets in your head. And not only that, when you get touched, and I've always said, and I'll reiterate it again for our listeners, you can sack me 3 times. I'll take that over getting hit and not sacked 15 times. If you constantly at me, touching me, knocking me to the ground.
Around my knees, around my ankles. Get away from me.
Get away. And that's what I saw in Jared Goff as that game waned on. He wanted that ball out of his hand as fast as possible. That timing route, being able to wait 1 second, knowing you have to stare down the barrel of that gun. Somebody's going to hit you right in your chin. That 1 second to wait till that in-breaking route comes open, he wanted no parts of it. He wanted no parts of that because he got hit the entire game.
I kept saying to myself, y'all are not playing. Who's a bad football team right now, Joe?
The Raiders, your boys.
This is not the Las Vegas Raiders y'all are playing. This is not the Cleveland Browns y'all are playing. This is the team that just won the Super Bowl last year. This is a team that's got one of the best current records in the National Football League. And you are disrespecting them. You're disrespecting their defense. You're disrespecting those 2 tackles that are Georgia-born that put pressure on the quarterback every single snap. They collapse the pocket. Dan, you're taking hope away from your team because they know who they're playing. They know that's a champion that's lined up across from them, and you're not acting as if that team is a championship team. And I thought it was very belittling how he kept disrespecting the Philadelphia Eagles and his own Detroit Lions by going for it. And hopefully he learned from that experience, because when they did the film session the following day, he had to have seen points on the board that could have
Yes.
been there that
Yes.
wasn't because of a decision he made, not because of actions that were taken on the field by his team, but because of the decisions being made by the guy holding the play sheet. Let's go from Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs took a major blow last week in that loss to the Denver Broncos. Joe, talk to me about that game and talk to me about who the current Chiefs are. I believe they're a 500 team at 5-5.
Yes.
Tell me who the current Chiefs are right now, Joe.
At 5-5, right at 500 team, an average team, that they are suffering, Stu, from being on film big time. And when I'm talking about being on film big time, I'm going back to last year, or this particular year in the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles, showed a blueprint. You beat Patrick Mahomes up with 4 down linemen, which the Denver Broncos is leading the National Football League in sacks. They can get after you like nobody's business. Patrick Surtain is not playing, but they have an outstanding secondary with those guys filling in. Outstanding second level with the linebacker area. And they have a beat. The NFL, they have a beat on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. The running game is non-existent. They can't run the ball. And when you can't run the ball, and Patrick Mahomes is still one of your leading rushers, and you depending on him to run around and play Superman or a superhero, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. But they're a dangerous team now, Stu. And they're a dangerous team. Why? The same reason I think the Baltimore Ravens are a dangerous team. Because from now until week 18, which will be the 17th game of the season, it's going to be like a playoff game for them. There's no more room for error. So imagine those veterans in the locker room this week. Today's Wednesday. Starting today, saying that, guys, sense of urgency. Guys, there is no we can afford to not play our best or not be sharp in our game planning, not be sharp in our execution, not be sharp in our film study. It's do or die. It would be a shame because everybody's back, Stu. You were in the hole, but you got yourself back out of that hole when Rashee Rice came back and Hollywood and Xavier Worthy came back from that hit he got from Travis Kelce earlier. You got your boys back. Travis Kelce had 9 catches for, I think, 92 yards against Denver Broncos. He's healthy, ready to go. So my question is, where are you, Chris Jones? Where are you, McDuffie? Where are you, Karlaftis?
Yes.
Where that defense is the defense that's letting you down because remember, Patrick Mahomes and those guys had the lead when they went to the sideline. It was Bo Nix in that offense that went down on the defense of Kansas City and Spagnuolo. So I'm a little bit worried about their defense, but I can't count Kansas City out. Now, right now, they're not in the playoffs, Stu. Mm-hmm. Right now, but I know the season is not over yet. They cannot, and they will not, with Sean Payton coaching the Denver Broncos, they will not win the division. So that 9-year run of winning the AFC West, that's going to be over. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to, and they need help. So you're going to have to win and win and win and hope somebody else lose to get in the playoff. But I'm still betting on the Kansas City Chiefs.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm your boy One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. Quick reminder to remember to catch the 2 Live Stews tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock sharp right here on Stewart Media and Entertainment on YouTube. You can Google the show and find the show at the 2 Live Stews Experience. I'm smiling because I'm smiling because you and I have had an ongoing debate for over a year plus right now about this next quarterback I'm about to bring up. In their last few games, the New York Jets find themselves at 2-1. They beat the Bengals 39-28. They beat the Cleveland Browns 27-20. Took a loss to New England. And Drake May and Coach Vrabel are doing an outstanding job in New England. They're one of my top 3 teams right now in the National Football League, so that was a tough loss for them. But the Jets' primary quarterback in 2025, Joe, that being Justin Fields, his 2025 season line so far is 1,259 passing yards, 7 TDs, and 1 interception. His completion percentage right now is around 62.7% in his starts. And the Jets have announced that he will be replaced by Tyrod Taylor hadn't been effective enough. And I guess I understand that, even though the numbers that I just threw out to you, in my eyes, show me a guy that has potential and has promise, but I just don't think he's being coached up right. Joe, please
Don't
share
say
your
that.
thoughts.
Don't
Please-
say that. Don't say that.
No, when I'm talking, I get to say whatever I want when I'm talking. When you talking, you get to say whatever you want, Joe. I
That's
know we see
frustrating.
it differently.
That's frustrating, man.
I know we see it differently, but one of us thinks that Justin Fields may be a mere lifetime backup quarterback. That's you.
That's
And
me.
The other one of us feels as though with the right quarterback coach with some time, that he could be a force in this league because he's got a strong arm and he's got mobility, and he's shown that. I've done my part enough, Joe. Let's go ahead and get to yours. Tell me why you think Justin Fields is just a lifetime backup, sir.
Justin Field, you said strong arm, mobility. And the reason why I laughed at you and the reason why I tried to cut you off and you fussed at me, and rightfully so, that's my bad, is because you sound like a newspaper watcher or newspaper reader. You sound like a guy that gets up on Monday morning and just looks at his stats. And I know better. You sound like a guy that never seen Justin Fields play this season in a Jets uniform, that's looking at 1,000 yards and a touchdown to interception ratio that's spectacular. But you're not looking at the huddle operation. You're not looking at the line of scrimmage operation. You're not looking at the 10-plus delay of games coming out of the timeout, coming out of the huddle. You're not looking at when it's a time to go to the 2-minute drill that we're walking around with no sense of urgency. You're not looking at a guy that has a hitch route or a slant route that's 10, 12 yards away and he elmays it in the stands. You're not looking at a guy that, is not looking from one side of the field to the other side of the field and panicking in the pocket. You're not looking at a guy that has a clean pocket and escapes a clean pocket for no reason. You're not looking at a guy that fundamentals break down completely when he has 5 or more rushes coming at him. That's why you have to sit him down. You have to sit him down because you're not letting the other 10 guys be themselves. You're hampering the wide receivers when they're wide open. You're hampering the running backs on a little bit of check downs. You're hampering the whole entire offense and not having check with me's at the line of scrimmage. You're running in the 8-man box. And Stu, this is what hurts me, is the African-American bash that I seem like I'm doing, and I don't want to do it because I don't want to be in the fraternity of doing that. Any quarterback, but especially African-American quarterbacks. But Justin Fields reminds me of what they said about the black quarterback back in the day.
Boy, I was hoping you wouldn't go there.
And why did I go there? I shouldn't have done
okay.
that.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
you got to tell your truth, and you got to explain it the way that you see it, Joe.
Yeah,
that's what the people want to hear.
Yeah, Stu. So yeah, thank you for that. He reminds me of the stereotype they gave us back in the day, and that he can run around. Yeah, he has a strong arm. Yes, he's the fastest on the field. Yes, he's the best athlete on the field. But can he compartmentalize a cover 3, a fire zone? Can he compartmentalize when a safety comes down and rotate from 2 high to single high? All the pre-snap look and then the post-snap look, and do it all in 4 seconds. And able to maybe manipulate a coverage, move a safety, move a linebacker with your footwork. Do those things that it takes. And you said a little bit earlier that you don't think he's getting coached right, and I'm not here to argue that, but you're telling me nobody in Chicago could have coached him? Nobody at the Pittsburgh Steelers could have coached him, and now nobody at at New York, the Jets, could have coached him? There's no way, in my humble opinion, that you're looking at a Drake May in his second year that looks like a more polished quarterback than Justin Fields. You can't tell me there's any way that a Bo Nix in his second year of quarterbacking looks more polished than a Justin Fields. This is his man's 5th year in the NFL, and he's still making some of the same mistakes. I understand the coaching and the coordinators he's been through, but sometimes we have to see growth, man. And I think he's no longer a starting quarterback in my book in the National Football League.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm gonna give you a little pushback, and then we'll move on, pay some bills, and come back and finish up in the National Football League, and then touch some basketball before we get out of here. We've already been on an hour, so we're going to go a little bit longer.
Wow.
But we've missed a few shows, and we hadn't been with each other, so I'm absolutely
Let's do
fine.
Let's do it.
Absolutely fine going long. We appreciate y'all for watching. The pushback is going to come from this, Joe, and I agree with the majority of what you said, except for one thing. You tell me the last quarterback that has been developed by the Chicago Bears. You tell me the last quarterback that's been developed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ever since Ben Roethlisberger's been gone, they've been looking for a quarterback ever since then. Ben's got to be coming up on 4.5, 5 years. He's been gone now. They've had 3 or 4 other guys in the spot that they weren't able to develop. They've had guys drafted high. Kenny Pickett was taken extremely high. The guy that backed up Aaron Rodgers because Aaron's got the wrist injury now. Is it Rudolph? Whoever?
Yeah, Mason Rudolph. Yes.
Okay. He's been around for a minute. So that's Chicago. That's Pittsburgh. You tell me, since mother freaking Joe Namath, a quarterback that's had success with the Jets. So you're not talking about franchises that are known for their quarterback prowess and the development of quarterbacks. You're not talking about franchises that have Hall of Fame quarterbacks that's been the signal caller for those teams. You talked about 3 teams that have done an absolutely terrible job at putting a quarterback in a position to win. Why is Justin Fields looked upon as the guy that's supposed to right the ship for quarterback play with 3 franchises that have done that terribly in the last 15 years? And Rodgers sucked when he was with the Jets last year. Every quarterback they've had has sucked. Sam Darnold's playing incredible now. He sucked in New York.
Yeah.
Sanchez sucked in New York.
Sanchez went to 2 AFC Championship games.
He sucked as a player in New York. They had incredible defense.
No doubt about it, brother.
So on the heels of everything you said that I agreed with, why is Justin Fields looked at as the one that just can't get it? Nobody's got it with those 3 programs in the last 2 decades.
Excellent
other
point.
than Ben Roethlisberger.
Excellent point, Stu. I'll ask you this, brother, and this is all I have to come back with, and you're absolutely right. There's no I can't dig in the dirt and find anything about that. I would ask you this. Did the Chicago Bears cut Justin Fields?
No.
Why? Yes, they did.
Well, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They did.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
They did. So my point here, Stu, is that Justin Fields was that cocky. That's on Justin Fields. He was that cocky. He chose to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And from the Pittsburgh Steelers, did the Pittsburgh Steelers trade him to New York? No, they did not.
No.
So he chose to go to New York and say, I'm going to be the guy that's going to go, although they hadn't developed the quarterback in Pittsburgh in the last 15 years, I'm going to be the one. And then that didn't work out. He chose to sign for, I think, $40 million, I think $20 million a year to go to the Jets. He chose that. So nobody shipped him off. It wasn't like he got drafted to a place he didn't want to go. That was his choice to do those two stops. His. Why didn't he go to one of these quarterback whisperers?
Well, let me answer that. Because the quarterback whisperers have quarterbacks, and the biggest bag was in New York with the Jets. Yeah. And we are not going to stand here and question this dude for taking a $40 million opportunity and running with it. We shouldn't do that.
No, we're not going to do that, Stu. But you sitting here and telling me that, the Jets don't develop quarterbacks, and that's on, the coaching staff. And part of it is on the coaching staff. But he's going to have to take some responsibility for his play. He made that bed. He chose that. He chose the Big Apple to go play.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not a good sign to get benched during the season, man, and you're the starting quarterback that you just paid in the offseason. That's not a good sign. And they tried not to do it, brother. They held on.
But Joe,
when the owner wanted them out, they held on.
They've benched every quarterback that they've had since Joe Namath.
Everybody forget about Zach Wilson.
Right. And Zach was drafted higher than Justin Fields.
Number 2.
Zach is someplace now as a backup holding the clipboard, but he still ain't playing. So you didn't lie or make up anything. You told the truth as you see it, but I just wanted to show the other side of it because it's 3 bad quarterback franchises that he's played for. He was a college player that threw the ball and ran the ball with success.
Yes.
So we got to pay some bills, and we'll come back.
Why are you holding on, man? Why are you holding on? And let me ask you this, right before we pay some bills. You don't believe he should have gotten benched?
He's thrown 7 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Right.
No, I don't think he should have gotten benched.
Okay.
You've traded away the defensive center to the Dallas, the defensive tackle to the Dallas Cowboys.
Quentin Williams.
You've moved players.
Sauce Gardner.
You've weakened the team.
You weakened the nation today, Caffey.
Well, yeah, you've weakened the team, and when I look at his numbers don't show me bench him and put in a journeyman quarterback in Tyrod Taylor who can play the position, who's a damn good player, but Justin's numbers don't show me from the 3 franchises that has had him that he doesn't deserve an opportunity to play. When you benched him for Russell Wilson last year, he was 4-2. He was 4-2, and you benched him. I just don't think he's had a fair shake as of yet. And he has had opportunities to play. He has been the starter. But I just don't think that he's been coached by a quarterback-minded coach that can help him be his best self.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
He's been in quarterback purgatory ever since he got into the National Football League. And now a guy that's a pure quarterback mind such as yours, I don't know a more pure quarterback mind than you. For you to say that he's the stereotypical quarterback, it hurts my heart because he hadn't been to a franchise that develops any quarterbacks. All of their quarterbacks have sucked. All of them.
Yeah, but see, Stu, you're going behind the curtain.
Caleb Williams was terrible his first year in Chicago until Ben Johnson got there.
Stu, understandable. You make a great point there, but you're talking to Caleb Williams, a second-year quarterback, and he was terrible his rookie year. If this had been Justin Fields' 3rd year in the NFL, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying or as emphatic as I am now. He's deep into his career, brother. Deep.
I understand. This goddamn
He's playing like a rookie, and you disappoint me. And this is why you disappoint me. You keep on bringing up 7 touchdowns and 1 interceptions like you reading the newspaper, brother. You watch way more games than that. You've watched 3 New York Jets games.
I've watched more than 3 New York Jets games.
You've watched. Well, I'll give you.
And the reason why I've watched more than 3 of them is because I want to be able to shut you down when you do what you just did, and I couldn't shut you down because you're telling the truth. But goddamn, Joe,
Man.
I mean, goddamn. No one's had success at that position for those franchises. It's not a Justin Fields thing. It's a Chicago Bear, Pittsburgh Steeler, New York Jets thing. Aaron Rodgers right now, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He ain't razzling and dazzling nobody at that position. All right, I'm sorry. And again, I think we both have the ability to draw a line in the sand, but we're going to move on, pay some bills, come back and continue to talk this thing up. It is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. Y'all, please keep it locked. We'll be back in about 1 minute after we pay some of these bills. In the Huddle with Joe Ham. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ, the all-natural weight chews, cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results. In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. It's Ryan Stewart, One Live Stew. Very happy to be here with y'all today. Thank y'all for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday night. We usually do the show on Wednesday around noon, but Daddy Duty was real today, and I wasn't able to get here at noon to do the show, but we're doing it tonight. We're going to finish up some NFL talk before we jump into a little bit of college basketball. I'm sorry, NBA basketball. Who's your front runner right now for Coach of the Year, Joe? And not only who's your front runner when it comes to Coach of the Year, what goes into winning that award in your eyes? And why can't a coach win that award when his team is expected to win? It seems like it's always going to a coach that has turned around a bad team or a coach that has got a team that wasn't expected to get to the postseason there. Tell me your thoughts on current Coach of the Year, Coach Ham.
Well, I thought about, what goes into it, Stu, and what made me think about what goes into you being the Coach of the Year. Kevin Stefanski, since 2020, he's been Coach of the Year 2 times. 2 times. Is he that good of a coach? Or the expectations were low? The Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni, he didn't stand a chance of winning Coach of the Year this year. He didn't stand a chance. If the Philadelphia Eagles had gone 17-0, he would not have won the Coach of the Year. Why is that? Why is that? You still have to coach your butt off to get those records. What about the coaching job that you're doing week in and week out? How is your team playing? Are they, fundamentally sound? Not having penalties, going in other people's building or other people's stadium and winning. What does it entail? I ask myself that question and I can't seem to have the answer to it. But this year right here is not clear either. It's not clear. My 2 front runners right now is Mike Vrabel, without the shadow of a doubt, first year in New England. And second, well, my first number 1 guy is Ben Johnson. My number 1 guy is Ben Johnson in Chicago in the NFC North, where they were picked to finish last. Dead last behind the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings. And here you are at the top with a second-year quarterback that needed to get revamped, needed to be taught a new system, how to play the quarterback position at the NFL level. But I can't dismiss Mike Vrabel and what he's doing in a team that really won how many games last year? Not even 5 games. Complete turnaround. Yeah. And having Drake May look like the next coming of Tom Brady. And I don't want to lose that too loosely, but he's playing with that type of poise. I don't know if his career is going to end like that. Most likely it's not, because Tom Brady did some historic things. Right. But I'm going to give it to Ben Johnson, and this is why I'm going to give it to Ben Johnson. he does a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mike Vrabel is a CEO. Mike Vrabel is all in. I mean, he has I hadn't seen a coach like Mike Vrabel coach on the sideline in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
In between series, whether it's the offensive line, he's kneeling down, touching their knees, and looking them in the eyes, saying something about the next series, what he wants done, what he sees, whether he's encouraging those guys or not. In the next series, when the defense comes off, he's doing the same thing in the defense, just as calm as ever.
I love him.
I mean, he's all in. But when you got Ben Johnson, he's the head coach, and he's changed that culture around, and the expectation and the attention to details that you see permeate throughout the entire roster and offense, defense, and special teams. The way they're never out of the game. They've come back late, last possession. They've won their last 4 games, I think, in the last possession. There's something to be said about that. And he's calling the plays as an OC. Right now, I would have to give it to Ben Johnson. But don't leave out. And let me ask you this question as well.
Okay. Question.
Sean Payton can't win it, can he?
No, he can.
Well, can he? But because I think he's a product of his own success.
You're not going to like my reason for why Sean Payton can win it, but simply because he's got the complexion for the protection, and he does an outstanding job. I really think that the Denver Broncos are finding ways to win despite Bo Nix having a problem throwing that ball down the field sometime. He's shown to be a fourth quarter player, and Sean Payton has shown to be protecting him to make sure he gets the best out of him. So, yeah, I do think that Sean Payton will be one of the finalists when it comes down to possible Coach of the Year.
But he's not going to win it, and that's my point. He's not going to win it because he's a product of his own success. They expect Sean Payton to do that.
I agree.
So it's not a shock where he deserves it. He deserves to be right up there with Vrabel and Ben Johnson, but he's not going to do it. Throw Shane Steichen in there as well. Shane Steichen from the Colts. Mm-hmm. He deserves to be in there well. He can win it. He's never won it before. But I'll ask you this to my point about the product of your own success. Mm-hmm. You meaning to tell me being in the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years in the Kansas City Chiefs, and Andy Reid has not won one single Coach of the Year? Mm-hmm. Come on. Yeah. What he did last year with all the one-loss games, that's my point. My point is almost that, you want the newcomer. You want the guy that the expectations was at 0. Yeah. Expectation was going to miss the playoffs and somebody to come out of nowhere to win the award. I don't think it should be that way. Right. I just don't feel it should be that way.
You mentioned Stefanski.
And what about one more thing? What about Sean McVay? What about Sean McVay?
Right.
I mean, he should be in the mix, but will you give it to him, or are you expecting Sean McVay to do that year in and year out?
Peyton has won a Super Bowl. Sean McVay has won a Super Bowl, and you're right. Unfortunately, those guys are at the top of the mountain when it comes to their franchises, and they're expected to do what they're doing. Right. So yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with all of this. You mentioned Stefanski a little while ago and how he's won it a couple times. Let's talk about him real quick. I think we're both, you and I, very frustrated about that narrative that's surrounding the quarterback in Cleveland, and that being Shedeur Sanders. The word on the street is that he was not prepared for his opportunity, and he blew his first opportunity when he came on the field last weekend at halftime. Share your thoughts about the word on the street, him not being prepared, and share your thoughts about what you see happening for Shedeur this weekend if he's indeed the starter for the Cleveland Browns.
Stu, I don't know. You've known me a long time, and so I wouldn't say you've never seen me frustrated. You have, but I'm very frustrated about this narrative. I'm very frustrated because of the narrative that he was not prepared. He wasn't prepared.
Right. So yeah. He wasn't prepared, but not the prepared as in the man in the mirror prepared. The prepared as in the people in the organization didn't allow him to be prepared. I'm sorry.
Right. Thank you. That is why. So he gets an extreme pass from me. Extreme pass. I'm talking about the play that I saw him play Sunday, 4 for 16, 1 interception, extreme pass. When I heard about him not getting any second team reps, I started to think about it. You and I have talked on this show about Peyton Manning and not giving away his first team reps. So I've seen it. I've been in the locker room. I've been on the practice field with an all-timer in Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks to do it. He did not give second team reps. I mean, he didn't not give out of a 12 play period. He took all of the 7 first team reps. When I got in when I was second string, and then Jim Sargent got in when he was second string, they took the remaining 5. None of those reps came with the first team. So I understand that. I've been in a locker room or in a practice field that did that.
We've talked about this countless times.
Yes.
I was going to bring this to your attention, so I'm very glad that you mentioned it. Before you move on, please remember where you were going with this.
Yes.
Is it unheard of for that to happen the way Peyton insisted on it happening, him getting every single rep with the ones? Or do other franchises allow a backup to get 1 or 2 reps of practice with the number ones? Tell me what is typical. Tell me what is standard in the National Football League, if there is a standard. Or is it something that's done on the team-by-team basis?
Very unique. It's not standard for the backup not to get some reps with the first team. That is the Peyton Manning. I'm not going to be in the NFL that long, I don't think. I don't want anybody trying to steal my job and show me up. I'm going to protect myself from anybody. I know I'm pretty good, but I'm still not going to let you get any reps to give these coaches any inkling that you can play my position. Okay. And I think that permeated too when guys talk at the Pro Bowl, guys have a relationship with each other. I think he went, or that got to Tom Brady. I heard Tom Brady was that way as well. Parcells wasn't that way. And any coach with, I wouldn't say any coach, but the right thing to do as a coach is your backup is one ankle twisted away.
We didn't do that in Detroit either.
No.
Scott Mitchell was the starting quarterback, and when Charlie Batch came in there, Magic Man was before Charlie, and Magic Man got 1 or 2 snaps with the first team. And when Charlie Batch came in there, I think they were really getting Charlie prepared to be the starter because Mitchell was so bad. But Charlie Batch got first team reps also as a backup. So clearly it's not standard, but I'm very glad you're highlighting this and brought this to the table for us.
No, absolutely not. It was a Peyton Manning. That's unique. What Peyton was, that's Peyton Manning. And that's how he went about doing things. And Coach Tony Dungy allowed that, and he understood where Peyton was coming from. But it's really malpractice. How can that go? How can that go to Shedeur Sanders if I didn't see game speed with these guys? I did not throw a route. Shedeur Sanders said that was the first time during the game that he had thrown a pass to Jerry Jeudy. First time. You know how many one-on-ones is going on in the NFL? I know you've been there.
Spring practices, walkthroughs during the meetings, leaving the meetings and going out to do a walkthrough in the stadium. He'd never been with them. The offensive line said they didn't know what he sounded like. They'd never had to move to his cadence before. He had never spent any time with them. It blows my mind.
It blows my mind as well, Stu. It blows my mind. I'm getting a little upset because it blows my mind because Stefanski, I'm going to fall short of saying sabotage and he didn't want Shedeur Sanders to succeed or he wants him to get out there and fail. I don't believe that. I mean, this man is in the National Football League, a 2-time coach of the year. I don't believe that. He's a very good X's and O's coaches. I don't believe that. And I do believe that as a rookie, you want to get Dillon Gabriel all of the reps possible to get him ready. But that's a rookie. And this guy is small in stature. This guy is a little bitty guy in the pocket in the National Football League. Don't you have any pushback that he might get hurt?
Right.
Don't you have any wherewithal to say, let's forward think that this guy might go down? And then your backup is going in there, naked. Naked. I mean, this guy, and this is what I saw in Shedeur Sanders. The speed of the game got him. And the Baltimore Ravens did exactly what you do to a rookie quarterback that had to
Heat him up.
Heat him up.
Heat him
Hit
up.
him up. Hey, hit him up. And so let me give you an example of what I thought about, Stu. You will love this. You meaning to tell me you want Shedeur Sanders to come in there and look like a starter or look like he prepared as a starter? And here is in the state we play in our hometown Atlanta Falcons, had their backup, which is a 10-year vet, come in off the bench, and he looked like he didn't want to play. Right. He looked like he wasn't ready to play, right. And he is a veteran. And you asking a rookie to come in with no reps and to be able to pick up blitzes, be able to throw in rhythm, and be able to have no, it's just not fair. But I tell you what I expect. This is his opportunity, and a lot of pressures on him this Sunday. From today, he's getting all the reps today. He can still be at the building right now, making sure he's got that game plan down.
Hopefully he is.
He can be talking to his teammates. He can be getting in a rhythm with a lot of different players. He can be calling the plays out in the mirror. He can be calling audibles in the mirror. He can be visualizing a lot of different things. He can be asking questions to the other coaches, other players. So there's no reason why he should not be prepared as far as the operation. And that's all I kind of want to see, Stu. I want to see you get in the huddle, in and out of the huddle. I want to see you get to the line. I'll make some checks and be in command. Is he going to miss some throws? Yes. He might still struggle because what's on this guy's shoulder is immense. You know how much pressure is on this guy? I'm putting a lot of pressure on him right now.
No question.
But I'm gonna give him a total pass from what I saw Sunday, and I'm gonna put a lot of onus on what he's gonna do this Sunday. Why? They're playing the Raiders, and they're playing a team that gives up a lot of points, and he should be able to find completions. So he can look good against the Raiders if he's prepared to play. So this is a stage where he's getting on that he can have Dylan Gabriel sit the rest of the season. You come out, even if Dylan Gabriel, and I know Kevin Stefanski went out on a limb again. Why would you go out on a limb if you Kevin Stefanski and say that when Dylan Gabriel is healthy, he's off quarterback? Yeah, knowing that you needed to still evaluate Shedeur Sanders to see if he can play. Why would you name that?
He's got ticks in his pubic hair that are tearing his ass up when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. There's no vibe there. Maybe I don't know, but there's something in his draws that's bothering him about Shedeur Sanders. But that's neither here nor there.
Let me tell you one more thing, Stu. Let me tell you one more thing.
Please.
Why I question Stefanski's coaching of that quarterback room when it comes to Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders this past Saturday. It would be different if they had the same style. If they had the same style, then I could understand that,
they're two completely different players.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel is that half boot, roll out a little bit, get the ball out of my hand quickly, the short to intermediate passes. He's going to live in that area. He doesn't want to stretch the ball downfield. He doesn't take those chances. Very, very, very safe. I would call it an extreme game manager. Yeah. Extreme game manager.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and you know that it's a different game plan for Shedeur Sanders, where's your package?
Yeah.
Where's your package that if something happens to Dylan Gabriel, if Dylan Gabriel does not play well and you need to bench him because he's stinking it up, where's your package that say, Shedeur, what do you feel comfortable running?
For the other guys.
How can I modify my offense to make sure you succeed?
Yeah.
You having him running the same plays that Dylan Gabriel ran, they're not the same quarterback.
Yeah.
So where's the package for him? Yeah. That's another coaching malpractice I saw last week that went against, in my opinion, against Kevin Stefanski.
Getting some true gems in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. You mentioned the Atlanta Falcons, and you mentioned Kirk Cousins coming in, not looking like he wanted to play. I was very I was very disappointed in Kirk Cousins. I feel the same way about Michael Penix that I feel about Justin Fields. I think that he's got the potential to really be a good quarterback, but we're not going to take any time to talk about the quarterback situation in Atlanta. I want to talk about the head coaching situation in Atlanta, and I want to ask you straight up if Raheem Morris should retain his job next season, or if you think Arthur Blank should go in a different direction.
Direction.
This is coming out of left field. I hate calling for the brother's job. But it's one of the hottest topics on these streets right now with all my buddies that I talk to that are not here in the ATL. Well, not outside of the ATL like I am, or in the ATL like you are. Everybody wants my thoughts on if I think Raheem Morris should be given more of an opportunity, and I am over the Raheem Morris experiment. I want your thoughts on that, sir.
You said other people said they're over it. I am over it as well, Stu.
Okay.
I'm over it. I'm over it because I'm like my mom is cringing now because I mean we shouldn't be talking about each other like this, so to speak. But Stu, come on, man.
I agree.
This is what we do, man. This is what we do. We talk sports. If you and I were on my couch, while we were chopping it up, we would say the same thing. So we got to say the same thing. And I've said it to you on our conversations. Why not say it now? Yes, he is a very good defensive coordinator, is Raheem Morris. Excellent coach. Position coach and coordinator. He's not a head coach.
Yeah.
He does not make good in-game decisions. When to go for it on fourth down, clock management, when to throw the challenge flag. He's never coaching when the camera goes to the sideline.
Every time they show him on the sideline, he's standing there like, somebody please tell me what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Have you ever seen it?
It bothers me when they show the head coach over and over and over, and every time they show him on the sideline, he's just standing there looking at a play sheet or standing looking around and his mouth isn't moving. When I don't see the head coach coaching, it bothers me, Joe Hamilton.
Well, he doesn't have a play sheet. He doesn't have one, Stu. I've never seen one. If you've seen one, let me know. I'll be checking for it this Sunday. He has nothing in his hands. He has his hands folded. And when you look at Andy Reid is jotting things down on his sheet. You look at Vrabel. Vrabel's on the sideline, talk like we alluded to earlier, talking to players. I don't see Raheem Morris talk to anybody when they jog off the sideline. I don't see him go back and say anything what he wants done. I don't see a clipboard or a headset slammed down. I see a guy just that cliche saying in the media. It's always a cliche that I got to do better. We got to get that corrected. I have not seen anything corrected in 5 straight weeks.
Yeah, bad.
And I'm not calling for his job. I just don't think he's the guy for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the guy to move the culture from the Falcons going forward. Because I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out, or I was trying to figure out, what does he bring to the table?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, is he motivating those guys to come out and start the first quarter fast? I don't see that.
Doesn't look like it.
I mean, is he the guy that when going gets tough, can he rally those guys and say, huddle up, let's go, and get a little upset? Does he bench a guy? Does he say anything that fire you up? So those things, I mean, and I know they're grown men. They shouldn't need motivation. But there's a way you get those guys to play above their means, and he's just not getting it done. And his hiring, where he missed is his hiring of a brand new play caller that came off of Sean McVay's coaching tree, that had from the Rams, that he was buddy with, that he was on the staff with, that never called the play, and he put all the chips with a ready-made team. A top 10 wide receiver, top 10 tight end,
they got a
top
squad.
10 running back, and a solid offensive line.
He's got 2 top 10 running backs, and one of them is probably the best back in the damn league behind Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely. So now you could call him a guy that he looks like he's overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I mean, with how the NFL is going to the 3 tight end look, the creativity, the eye candy, the motioning, the setting plays up by running this play, to doing different things, different dynamics, he's not evolving. He's not evolving. It's really predictable. So I hate to say it, and that's to any coach. But I just don't think he's the guy, and he'll get a job next year. Yeah. He'll be employed, but I think his head coaching jobs are over.
Let's bang 2 more quickly, Joe, in the world of football, and then we'll touch on some basketball, and we'll get up out of here. Real briefly, Joe, give me your front runner for the NFL MVP. Jonathan Taylor's getting mine. Okay, I don't know who yours is going to be, but when you've got a running game like that, the Colts have, he went for 244 yards a couple weeks ago versus the Falcons, as a matter of fact. How ironic is that? But yeah, I think that is a game-changing running back when you've got someone that can carry that ball, and you get 20, 25 carries, and they can end up with around 150 yards rushing. That changes things tremendously for an offense. That's who my MVP would be. Who's yours, Joe?
Yeah, well, we can quickly move on move on from this topic. This wouldn't be long at all. Number 3 stands for me, Drake May. Number 2 stands for me, Matthew Stafford. And I totally agree with you, my brother. It did not. I thought it was going to surprise you. I didn't know you were going.
Wow.
I didn't know you were going there, but I am absolutely going exactly where you were going with that, Jonathan Taylor. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. And you know I'm a quarterback, and I understand that we're the most important position in sports. I get it. I get it. I get it. But when this guy is on pace for setting records like he's doing, scoring 3 touchdowns a game, his team has only lost 2 games, and he's balling the way he's balling, setting the tone, receiving and running the ball.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's not overthink this. Let's not overthink this thing, man.
He also blocks well. He's a protector of the quarterback, and there's no question in my mind that Daniel Jones's success right now in Indianapolis is because of that ground game. When you've got to stack that box, you're going to have one-on-one matchups on the outside all day long. They've got to keep 7 to 8 in that box so that kid right there don't get 200 yards a game. So I thought you were going to go quarterback. You surprised me, Joe. But again, you know what you're doing, and it's good to see us be on the same page. Before we get out of the world of the NFL, it really bothers me, and I don't want to stay here too long, but I've been spat on once in my life. And the person that spat on me, I gave him the business. Okay? Jamar Chase, he's one of my favorite receivers. He's been suspended for this upcoming game, a suspension that is going to cost him $450,000+ one game check. Give me your take on the spitter known as Jamar Chase. Give me your thoughts on the spitter who didn't even have the testicles to tell the world, yeah, I spat on that SOB. Yeah, nope, I didn't even open my mouth to that. Give me your thoughts on Jamar Chase, sir, and him spitting on Jalen Ramsey.
How can you lose your cool to spit on somebody?
My goodness.
On a football field. What was Jalen Ramsey saying to you, man? Goodness, was it just trash talk? I know he didn't call you out of your name as far as the B word. I'm pretty sure that he didn't say anything about your mama.
I was about to say, he had to have said something about that young man's mama.
That's the only thing, man. So, and to double down in the locker room and look right in that reporter's eyes and say, I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. Like, what are you doing? So you lost a little bit of respect in your locker room. That's what happened. You lost a little respect in your locker room because your teammates and even your homeboys, when they go to your house and hang out, or you come to their crib in the basement, they would ask the same question I want to ask you. What did he say, brother? I mean, what did he say to you?
What happened out there? What made you go there?
Hey, and I'd
rather you catch him up under the chin. I'd rather you risk breaking your hand by trying to get up under his face mask. But to just spit?
My God, just spit. And I like Mike Tomlin's response. Mike Tomlin's response was classic. Mike Tomlin said,
naturally.
He said, I have no messages for somebody to get spit on. yo, do what comes naturally. And Stu, not to belittle this point and not to carry it too far that it needs to be carried, but some precedence has to be set here as far as that spitting deal. And I know you can't go, you suspend Jamar Chase more than you gave Jalen Carter because the NFLPA would come knocking at your door. He's going to appeal it because you're going to have the same consistency across the board that what is the rule from that spitting one-game suspension, just like you did in the first game of the season when Carter spit on Dak Prescott. However, You don't want this to balloon into something that these guys at a club, these guys see each other in the off season. These guys might have meet you at the bus that all of a sudden you got an incident because of this. You will have to do something a little bit different, my brother.
There's been 2 times in my career where I literally went to the bus afterwards like, where he at? Yeah, tell him, is he on the bus? Tell him come off the bus.
You got to see me.
Yeah, you got to see me before y'all travel. You can't say what you said to me on that field, or you can't do what you did to me on that field and don't think I'm not coming to see you. We getting ready to wrap up In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. Quick reminder to catch the 2 Live Stews tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, as we will be bringing you a 2 Live Stews experience. Real quick, Joe, in the world of the NBA, who is the face of today's NBA? Today, who's the face?
There are no faces. It's multiple. It's multiple. It's multiple. And for the first time in a long time, it's multiple. Because who are you going to give it to? I have a hard time. You want to give it to Shea? You want to give it to the Joker? You want to give it to Giannis? You wanted to give it to Luka Doncic? But you want? I mean, so it's up in the air. There
or would I dare say, as Doug calls me, a LeBron sexual, a bronze sexual? Do I dare say it's still his league?
Yeah, you can dare say that. Yeah, because the mantle doesn't have to be passed. Okay, the mantle doesn't have to be passed because, again, what LeBron came in and did last night. Yeah, sample size small. He played 30 minutes. They blew the Utah Jazz out. I understand that. With 12 assists, only taking 7 shots. LeBron is a smart individual. IQ through the roof. He's been sitting, like you told me earlier when we talked last week or maybe this week, that he's watched and been to every single game. He is not about to come into this Lakers lineup, starting lineup, and disrupt the flow. Last night, I saw guys take way more shots than LeBron, and I saw LeBron being comfortable with it. I saw Luka Doncic getting 37. I saw other guys contributing, and LeBron was just a facilitator, having fun out there. If he's going to take on that role, maybe he's still the face of the NBA. If he's going to take on that role, can you imagine what you can say to the youth? That LeBron James, one of the best top 2 players that we've ever seen, is going to take a back seat? I think that's gonna elevate his level even more, Ryan Stewart. If he can come and humble himself that way and not have to be the guy, because clearly in any basketball guy's mind, it's Luka Doncic's team now. I'm not saying he's the leader. I'm not saying that Luka Doncic is the leader of the Los Angeles Lakers. That is still LeBron James. But it is Luka Doncic's team on that floor as far as who's going to have that ball, who's going to take the big shots, who's going to take the most shots. It's Luka Doncic. But I'm just telling you, man, I don't think it needs to be a face, and I think it can be cumulative. And I also think that it does not have to be, which has never been. The face of the league has never been a non-born American.
Right. Well, if we had to choose one right now, it's definitely going to go to one of those Euros. I'm going to say, I'm going to say Joker. I'm going to say SGA because, and I don't want to leave LeBron yet. So let me back up. I'm sorry. Let me back up. You made a comment that, and you and I have talked about this ad nauseum as well. I was very proud of LeBron last night because as he came in, you could tell that he was coming in set on being a facilitator. He moved the ball, made some beautiful passes, and it was almost like he came in saying, I'm going to take a shot if y'all force me to take a shot. But I really want to set other people up. I missed y'all. Let me be the gift that keeps giving right now. And Joe, you're right. It's going to sound crazy to say this, but if LeBron can find a way to willingly, openly take a back seat to Luka, he can stay around this league for another 4 or 5 years, and he can stay in that league for another 4 or 5 years because he and Luka on the same team is way. I'm not even talking about them being on the floor at the same time. I'm talking about them being on the same bench during the same game is too much for the opposing team to be able to defend.
Too much. I mean, LeBron James took 7 shots, brother. 7 shots. And you said if LeBron can do that. LeBron is such a competitor. LeBron is going to show you and I that,
him.
he's going to say, I have another game.
Right.
You thought it was high flying, running like a deer in my first 10, 12 years.
Yeah. Blocking shots from behind.
Yeah, and you thought I'd transform into being a little bit of a bruiser and posting you up and being a little methodical in the half-court game. Watch me change my game up again.
Right.
Watch me change him again.
Joe.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't become what he was earlier, a defensive stopper. Because what Lucas is going to do, Lucas is going to have LeBron James save energy. Lucas is going to have some LeBron James not be exhausted in the fourth quarter, and when the game 75 through 82 comes along, and the playoff comes along, because he's not going to have to carry the bulk of the weight. If Lucas can stay healthy and LeBron can stay healthy, LeBron is going to be fresh, a fresh LeBron with his IQ. My goodness, man.
You and I have talked about this, so I'll bring it to the air real quick before I ask you one more thing, and we're going to get up out of here. Had no intentions on being around here 2 hours tonight, but, man, I got another page full of notes. I sent you some stuff that we hadn't even touched yet.
Yes.
So, I'm praying LeBron can humble himself, and I'm praying that he is also willing to come off the bench the entire season. If he's willing to do that, if he can eat humble pie to the point where he comes off the bench, that will allow the Lakers to have 2 starting fives. That will allow Luka to be well rested and not overworked. That will allow Austin Reeves, who's shown to have the capacity to take 10, 12, 15 shots a game in LeBron's absence this season, that would allow them to be much more effective and efficient players if he's willing to come off the bench. And I'll dig a little bit deeper. The relationship that he and the coach has sets this up for the coach to be able to design this thing the way he wants, because LeBron is his boy. Yeah. He got the job because of LeBron. So JJ Redick can be like, hey, big guy, real quick, man. I know you're with your family. We just left the gym, but I got to run this by you real quick. Are you cool coming off the bench? Because if you are, we can do this, and this. If you are, when we get into the postseason, we can do this, and this next spring. If you're willing to not be a guy that starts, and LeBron, I know you deserve to start. I know you can start on all of these teams, but if you're willing to do that for us, it'll make us a much better, well-rounded team to compete for it all. Give me your thoughts on that, Joe.
I just don't understand your rhyme or reason for that, what you're saying. I understand and I get it, what you're saying.
Okay.
But I don't understand why you're saying that. Why would you?
Okay.
I mean, because you can get another starting five with anybody, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a solid starting five. And I understand you have a superstar on both rotation, the first and the second group. Okay. First group Luka, second group LeBron, but that doesn't mean LeBron's group, the second five, is going to be a good second five.
Luka, well, if LeBron is out there, it's going to be the focus of whoever else is out there. He'll be the focus.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
If LeBron is out there and Luka's not out there, Luka's getting the rest. And the only reason why I'm suggesting this is because Luka has shown that he deserves to dominate the ball. But LeBron still deserves, as a guy that was top 6, top 7 in MVP voting last year, he still deserves to have the ball to bulk of his time too. So if Luka's giving you 38, 9, and 9, which is something that LeBron probably doesn't have the capacity to do consistently, then let Luka have the ball. And when Luka's resting, give it to LeBron, in my opinion.
I thought for sure, Stu. I thought for sure you was gonna pipe down a little bit after watching how he played last night.
I know
because I felt you, and I do feel what you were saying when we talked last week before LeBron. We on the brink of him coming back.
Right.
I totally get where you were coming from because you were wondering about whether how can they share the ball with Luka and LeBron and LeBron in his entire career has been ball dominant when he's been in the and Luka needs the ball. You are absolutely right. But I thought you was going to pipe down a little bit, seeing how LeBron's going to do it. If LeBron does what he does last night, then there's no problem.
I agree.
And here's the reason why I disagree with you as far as starting him. Because you believe that in clutch time, under 5 minutes left in the ball game, and within a 5-point game, that LeBron and Luka should be on the floor, right?
100%, sir.
So what would be the difference then?
Luka's got to have the ball.
I understand.
And if LeBron is on the floor, the defense cannot ignore that he's out there, which is going to free up Luka to do that 38, 9, and 9.
So start him. That's what the same thing you were saying about the last 5 minutes.
All right.
The first quarter is the same thing.
So, however, if you're starting both of them, now they're both going to have weary legs towards the end of their ball game.
Okay,
if they're both eating up the minutes. Okay. Remember, a big part of this is LeBron's 40-plus years old.
Yeah.
And Luka has shown the capacity not to have the energy or the body makeup to play a bunch of
cardio. The
cardio, the stamina. So yeah, it's a good distraction to have. It's a good problem to have. But again, I'm thinking ball dominance, and I'm thinking having a chance to win it all at the end. Mm-hmm. When I'm saying bring LeBron off the bench.
Well, I just say this. I'll say this. And my last thought about this is that even though they have a great relationship, him and JJ, JJ doesn't have the testicles.
He got the testicles to say, "Hey man,
no,
sit you down."
No, that's gonna have to come.
I got to sit you down, big guy.
That's going to have to come from LeBron. That's going to have to come from LeBron.
Okay. All right. Wrapping things up in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. One more basketball topic before we get out of here. Outstanding job today, Joe. I missed you the last few weeks, man. Glad you're back in the saddle.
I'm back, brother.
OKC's start to the season.
Oh man,
has to be admired. Right now they're 14-1. I don't remember what the Bulls, who's got the best record ever, I don't remember what their record started off as. I can probably pull it up while you're talking, which you're about to do in a second. But I would say SGA is the face of the league. I would say no team is playing better basketball than OKC. Right now, I would say that OKC, who's still got an injury or two on their bench or on their team, they're not even healthy yet. I would think that they're the favorite to repeat and do it again, as they are 14-1. Sir, share your thoughts on OKC and how they've done what they've done to this point.
Well, it's admirable. It's admirable for professionals, NBA guys not to rest on their laurels, NBA guys to forget about what happened last year, to go that deep into the finals, and to come back this year like their hair is on fire, to come back this year like they have a chip on their shoulder with a point to prove, playing lockdown defense, connected. It's fun to watch, and it's all about their leader. This SGA is quietly having a better season than he had last year in an MVP finals season and a league MVP season. He's currently having a better season. Yeah. And you are playing without an all-NBA player in Jalen Williams. You're playing without an all-defensive player in Lou Dort. I mean, and these guys are 12 deep. When I say 12 deep, they are 12 deep. And I forget the name. I should have looked it up before. They got a guy that came recently that we hadn't heard about on their roster. That's a hidden gem. Yeah. He's a hidden gem playing as well. So shout out to the coach. Shout out to Sam Presti as far as building a sustainable roster. Most of them, or all of them, are under 27 years of age, definitely under 30 years. To come out with that fire, and they're all under contract. It's by their leader. It's by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, and Hartenstein. The way those guys go about, and they hold each other accountable that you're not getting this basketball unless you squat. When I mean squat, play defense. You're not getting the best basketball and shooting unless you put your hands in the passing lane. You're not getting your hands on this basketball unless you box out every time that ball goes up. That's what I see in these guys. So you would want those guys to say, who's next? Who's next in the West is second place right now.
They are ferocious when it comes to loose balls. They are ferocious when it comes to getting a hand in passing lanes. They are ferocious when it comes to the ball coming off the rim. They want it. They all, back in the day, the old school guys at the court when we played on Sundays wore knee pads and elbow pads because they know they had to get dirty and gritty to play with the younger guys. OKC is a team that plays like they're wearing knee pads and elbow pads while they're out on the basketball court.
Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen to this.
I'm
going to blow your mind before I get you out of here. The Chicago Bulls went 72-10 in the 95-96 season. That is still the best record in the NBA after 82 games have been played. Do you know what the Chicago Bulls record was after 15 games? That season they went 72-10?
I would say 13-2.
It's 13-2. So OKC has a better record in the 25-26 season than the Chicago Bulls had in the 95-96 season, 15 games in. Final question, do they beat the Bulls 72-10 record at the end of the season?
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Agree. I
Simply
think they're going to shatter it. And it's crazy for us to say this. 82 games, we think they're going to do better than 72-10. That's crazy talk. But remember, I believe it in my heart.
Remember that they don't have the record anymore.
Golden State has it now?
Yes, they were 73-9. Golden State went 73-9. You remember, and they couldn't finish it off though. That's
they did not win the championship. Thank you.
Draymond Green gets suspended in Game 6. Yes.
So you see them better than 73-9 this year?
I do, and Stu, this is the reason. Ferociousness in the knee pads you just talked about. In this high-scoring NBA, for a team to come out and they want to maul you, and they don't care about scoring, you're not going to score. Right. And the competitiveness to do that, to where they're playing, to play like that, you have to have some dudes that's very, very competitive. Right. And I think when they look at history and seeing repeat and finish the deal like the Golden States were not able to finish the deal, I think that record might be something in their locker room. Not every game that might be a goal of theirs going into the season of why they came out so on fire. There's got to be some reason why they came back after a long playoff run with that success, playing like why are they so greedy, man? They're greedy, and I love it. I'm here for it, man.
I absolutely love it, man. You brought your A game today, sir. You brought your A game today, Joe Ham. Thank you very much, man. As we conclude in the huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. Outstanding performance and participation by you today, sir. I missed you the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, man.
But you brought that fire. You brought that fire you brought that fire like you need to do this, sir.
I told you, give me my shoulder pads, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready to rumble.
Yeah.
I'm ready to rumble.
Yeah.
I thought about it all day, Stu. I thought about it all day. And this is showtime. And again, man, I'll leave you with this, Stu. There is nothing behind us that we should look back for.
I agree.
There's nothing behind. Man, because that stops momentum. Stops momentum. If you stop and look back, and that's positive or negative. Yeah. And that's a sign of what OKC's doing. If OKC stops and look back at what they did last year, it's going to stop the momentum going forward. Right. Press forward. Keep it moving. Yep. Keep it moving, man.
I'm going to take those words, and I believe and I wholeheartedly believe them, and I'm going to share some personal information with everybody before we get out of here. I was forced to call you this past Saturday because I came to see your son play on Friday. I was forced to call you Saturday morning and say, hey, man, I'm sorry, but Skylar Hamilton is a better quarterback at this age than you were at this age. And dare I say, you even agreed like, yeah, he's special. That kid's future is beyond bright. He's got it all out there.
Yeah, man.
He's got it all out there, Joe.
I thought about it again today, Stu. There's nothing I did better in high school than he does now. I might be a little bit faster. But I mean, accuracy, deep ball, poise, obviously size. I totally agree. He is a better quarterback at this age than I was, and that's tough to say as far as me going on to my career I had.
Right.
But high school wise, he's special, man.
Let's go, Jackets.
And he loves ball.
Let's go, Jackets. Let's go, Landmark. I mean, have an incredible week 11 in the National Football League and week, is it 12 in college football now? Because there's one more. Yeah. Whatever it is, man.
Week 11.
Enjoy the games this week, and I'm looking forward to chopping it up again with you on next Wednesday. Everybody in the chat room, we apologize. We'll do better next time, I promise. But I hadn't talked to my boy in a minute. We had a lot of stuff to get through, but we will do better in the world of identifying and reading chat next time. We look forward to spending time with y'all on next Wednesday in the Huddle with Joe Ham again. And before we go, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love, because that's all he's showing you. Nothing but love. Outstanding job, Joe. Outstanding job. Peace.
We scored touchdowns today.
Oh, we scored touchdowns today.